Good morning, everyone, and welcome to week 12. Week 12. Okay, so we're in November at this point. So the one thing I want to say before I jump into talking about the modules is that from here on out, the semester moves really, really quickly. Um, this week we have a shortened week. Friday, there are no classes in honor of Veterans Day. Then we have a week. And then we have the week after that, which is Thanksgiving. So short a couple of days on that week. And then we have just a week or two before the end of the semester. So because of all of the days off, it's going to seem like these next 5 weeks fly by. And I hear that from students all the time. It's like October is a slog of a month. October feels like it is a lifetime. But then you get into November and you're kind of like, those walking treadmill things that the walking pathways when you're in an airport, right? And if you walk on that really fast, you're on a treadmill and you feel like you're like, oh, I'm going so fast. That's kind of what November seems like to me. It's like walk, it's like slow, slow. And then you step on one of those and you're like, zink, and suddenly you're where you need to be. I kind of feel like that's what happens when November hits in classes, is that it just goes really, really fast. So that's the first thing that I want to say. The second thing that I want to say is that I have returned everybody's writing the main story at a glance. And so really before you dive into this next unit, ideally what I want you to do is kind of wrap up that main story at a glance, whatever that might be. You'll notice in this week's module that there is a check-in for that writing. And that check-in asks you to look at the original document and the reflection. Already I've read a couple of people who said, oh, I didn't see the hidden Miller, I didn't see the feedback. All of the feedback and the hidden Miller, that's on your assignment, the main story at a glance assignment. Some of the questions in this little quiz check-in are about that assignment. But some of the questions here are about the reflection. Remember, there's two different assignments there. So make sure that you're following the directions when you complete this writing check-in. And please know that if you received an incomplete, you must revise, right? You need to make sure that that assignment comes up to being complete. It means that some basic requirement was not met. Whether that was in source requirements, that's usually what it was about, or if you didn't meet the word count requirements for each section, it doesn't mean that you did the assignment poorly. It doesn't mean that you did it well. It means that you didn't meet the basic requirements, and you need to do that before we can evaluate how well you did that. So that's a requirement which is explained in this revising page. So again, start with the check-in and then move to the revising page. Okay, but today also opens up our final unit for English 221. The best thing that you can do if you're ready to start on that is watch the video that I posted in Unit 5, because that really does kind of walk you through what this unit is going to look like. If you scroll through the module for this week, for week 12, it's long, but there's nothing new here. These are just readings that kind of demonstrate what the assignment is all about. So don't be put off by what this looks like. You have a writing territory due at the end of this week, but again, same thing. I would encourage you, watch the overview, because that's going to explain kind of what this assignment, this final assignment, is all about. The entire unit is open except for week 16. That's where we're going to do all of our grade proposals. So that's not open yet, but you can go ahead and look at weeks 12, 13, 14, 15, and you'll see that there's really not a lot going on. I mean, this assignment is a big assignment. It's your final assignment, but it's not covering anything that we haven't discussed already all semester long, right? So you're going to be pulling in your use of reasoning, inductive and deductive reasoning. You're going to be pulling in your understanding of the rhetorical situation and the appeals, and as you are working to build your response to this larger question. So again, once you finish the main story at a glance, wrap up. If you are going to revise, revise. If you're not, then just make sure you do the check-in. Once you've done that, then watch the Unit 5 overview. And that will kind of walk you through at least my thinking also behind the assignment. Like, what is this assignment? What is it about? What do I need to do? What are my requirements? Because you essentially have You've got weeks 12, 13, 14, 15 to get that in. Yeah. So I do have student hours this week. So if you are planning on revising, or if you just want to talk about the feedback that you got on your main story, I have student hours today from 1 to 3. Today's Monday, Wednesday evening 7 to 8, and then Thursday midday from 11 to 1. If you can't meet during those times, but you would like to have a conversation, shoot me an email and we'll try and see what we can do. Again, we are definitely coming towards the end of the semester. It's going to go really quickly. So manage your time with this final assignment. Don't wait until the last little bit, because this is supposed to be kind of like your last hurrah for English 221. And for many of you, if you're not going into the humanities or communication or anything like that, this might be the last English class that you take. Whoop. So you want to make sure that this is your best effort. But in the meantime, if you have any questions or concerns, please do not hesitate to ask. All right. And also don't forget, Friday is a holiday in honor of Veterans Day. So you'll see that the due date for the writing territory this week is on Thursday, with the grace period of Sunday, of course. But I'm not going to require anything to be due on Friday because you don't have class. All right, everybody, have a great week.